the Nextorch P84 with the new version out, the Nextorch P86, and clear up some misconception as well, potential misconceptions. Now, I was thinking this might be the new model of the P84, but looking at them both side by side and having played with both these lights, they're actually very, very different lights, and it depends on what you're using them for. That will really influence your decision on choosing one or the other. So I'll go through the P84 first. Now, the P84 basically is a signal light with a very strong 3000 lumen LED in there. So this top button is a strobe. It accesses like a one-step strobe. Okay, you press and hold that as well. But if you press and hold this top button, you can access these little auxiliary modes, these signal sort of LED modes. That bottom button just activates the high, medium, and low mode. You got these auxiliary lights there to tell the battery voltage. And apart from that, part of that 3000 lumens, you also get a 21700 cell in there. Okay, so it's brighter. It's compared to this one, it's twice as bright as the P86, which is rated at 1600 lumens. Okay, got one of these XHP 70.2 LEDs there. This one's an Osram P9. You can see the difference in size of the LED, but both these lights are pretty much the same size. The P86 though is run off an 18650 cell, and this is the interesting thing. You take the tail cap off both of these lights, and you can see what Nextorch have done. They've basically just left more material there on the sides to make the battery tube thicker. Okay, compared then to the one on the P84. And I know there's been some torture tests and stuff done on the P84, and this might have been a way for Nextorch to increase the durability of their flashlights, because the thickness of the battery tube and barrel continues all the way into the head, this section of the head. Can't really see it past this section. Okay, but again, 21700 cell in the P84, 18650 cell in the P86, and you can get away with that in the P86 given you have an LED in there. Doesn't require as much juice as the XHP 70.2 with high output. Now, a big difference with the P86 and a function which I've never seen before on a light is that it has this whistle, an electronic whistle button. You basically press this button. I'm not going to do it now because it's just ridiculously loud, but you can press that. It's 120 decibel whistle. Now, this might be useful if you work in crowd control, traffic management. Maybe you're in security, you're in law enforcement, something like that. Maybe you're on a farm and you want to use it to scare away animals or direct cattle, that kind of thing. So very specific use. This one here with the P84, similar, I would say, with these auxiliary LEDs here. Okay, got these flashy red and blue LEDs, which is commonly associated with law enforcement, but also you have these constant on modes and just general attention modes like the red and the blue flashy modes, constant red mode, which can be quite useful actually for reading maps up close or just anything up close at night where you don't want to ruin your night vision. So I'd say this one is probably more suited for a general audience, whereas this one here with the whistle, very specific niche, and perhaps just a novelty item as well for people who just want a light that has a whistle in it. There's nothing else out there. I mean, there's nothing that competes with it. If you look out there, I mean, it's just a really interesting combination. So anyway, that's basically the gist of the differences. The bezels, you've still got the same crenulated stainless steel bezel with these glass breaking beads. both constructed extremely well. Performance is great as well. So we'll go through the beam shots and we'll see how they perform side by side. All right, so we've got the Nextorch P86 versus the P84, and on the left we've got the P86 in the highest mode. Lots of throw, lots of spill, excellent output. Okay, here on the left, on the right, sorry, we've got the P84. Now if we compare the beams, look at that, the P84, P86. There's no competition. That P84 is producing so much more light, you know, close to twice the amount of light. But in terms of actual throw, I'd say they're quite similar. Okay, very similar. That's the P86. It's the P84. Okay, P86. P84. Okay, but obviously with that P84 you've got those other auxiliary modes, auxiliary lighting modes that can track tension. Okay, one step strobe as well. You don't have that here on the P86. It's just 3 modes: high, medium, low. Easy peasy. You know, you don't even have to think, and you just press and hold down that button, and of course you've got that whistle. Scared me half to death. Press that button all the way and hold it. It's got momentary mode. Okay, it's got the same thing here as well. Okay. Momentary mode. Okay, you've got to turn the light off first and half press it for momentary. When you got the light switched on, it goes straight to the medium mode, and then you just got to cycle between high, medium and low. Okay. So yeah, it really depends. Obviously the P86 has this whistle function on it, and an 18650 light won't produce as much output, but you've got that the P86 here that's more, you know, twice the output. And you've also got these little auxiliary bits as well with the red and blue flashy lights, or the red light. So have the constant on red light.